All right, let's just dive right in. I want you to imagine you're riding shotgun for what has to be one of the most intense commutes ever. This is a first-person account of a single 5-hour drive that felt less like a trip across town and more like a high-stakes dance with destiny.
You know, that quote really sets the scene perfectly, doesn't it? We're on the roads of Trivandrum, India, and here, every single turn, every overtake is a serious test. Our driver didn't just commute, they basically navigated a gauntlet of near misses that would shred the nerves of even the most experienced driver.
And this brings us to the core concept of the whole story, the precision maneuver. This is the skill our driver had to use again and again and again. We're not just talking about braking or steering. This is that split-second, gut instinct reaction that's the only thing standing between a close call and a total catastrophe. Let's see it in action.
So our story kicks off just after noon. Picture a road surrounded by lush, tropical scenery. It looks peaceful, but as we're about to find out, that peace is incredibly fragile.
And here is our first antagonist, a tour bus which, ironically, has Toro Boy written on it. This driver has clearly decided the entire road belongs to him. It's a massive vehicle, and trust me, it is not waiting for anyone.
And check this out. This is the speed it's hurtling toward them while overtaking another bus, 65 kilometers per hour. Now, in this situation, that's not just a speed. It's a direct threat, leaving our driver with practically zero room to react.
And that really says it all, doesn't it? Our driver was forced completely off the asphalt, onto the dirt shoulder, just to avoid a head-on collision. So one incident down, but believe me, the day is far from over.
Okay, on to the next one. A little over an hour later, we're in a totally different setting. And this encounter, well, this is the one that gives our whole explainer its name.
So, picture the scene. It is filled with safety warnings. You've got double solid lines, which mean absolutely no overtaking. You've got yellow rumble strips to make you slow down. There's even a person standing right next to a parked car. The road is practically screaming, "Caution!"
But you know what? Caution is the absolute last thing on this truck driver's mind. He crosses the solid lines, heading uphill right into a blind spot, attempting a move that is just completely and utterly reckless.
And he's doing it at 70 kilometers an hour. I mean, the combination of that speed, the blind curve, and just ignoring every single road marking, it is a perfect recipe for disaster.
Wow. The driver's description here just perfectly illustrates how close this was. That phrase airbrushed, it tells you everything. There was no space. They had to pull off a perfect, instantaneous stop, the precision maneuver, to avoid getting sideswiped and potentially plowing into the parked car and the person next to it. The margin for error was literally zero. All right, let's fast forward a few hours. The afternoon rush is starting to build. We're on an urban road now, with these tricky curves where you just can't see what's coming up ahead. And this time, it's a rolling monument, a huge custom van that seems to think the rules just don't apply to it. It just swerves right across the solid white lines directly into their path.
You know, the driver's dark humor here really captures the absurdity of it all. It just makes you wonder, what's the big rush? Why risk so much just to save a few seconds?
So now, we're right in the heart of the city's evening chaos. There are bakeries, gyms, people everywhere. It is just a total sensory overload. And this is where the danger gets really up close and personal. A woman flags down an auto rickshaw, and the driver, with zero signal, just makes a sudden sharp turn directly in front of their car. It's this impossibly angled, totally unpredictable move.
At first glance, the gap looks to be about half a foot, which is already incredibly close, right? We're talking barely the length of a shoe. But the reality was so much worse.
1 inch. From bumper to bumper. Just think about that for a second. Any less, and that's a collision. This wasn't just a close call. This was a matter of millimeters. Just 11 minutes later, you think the worst has to be over, right? Nope. The gauntlet is not finished. The final challenge is on this narrow service road, boxed in by construction.
And then, out of nowhere, a scooter driver decides to pull an illegal U-turn and then tries to squeeze between cars, airbrushing our driver's tire. It's just a final chaotic reminder that on these roads, danger can come from anywhere, any size, at any time.
So, let's just recap this madness. In just 5 hours, our driver faced 5 separate, potentially fatal encounters. A bus forcing them off the road, a truck nearly taking them out on a blind curve, a van cutting them off, an auto rickshaw stopping an inch from their bumper, and a scooter making a crazy U-turn. An absolute gauntlet.
So when you look back at a day like that, you just have to ask yourself, what do you even take away from all that? What's the real lesson here?
And really, it all boils down to this. Survival on that day was a mix of two things: incredible skill, that precision maneuver, and, as the driver puts it, a healthy dose of pure luck, or maybe some angelic assistance. You can control your own actions, sure, but you can't control the chaos all around you.
And I think that is the perfect way to end it. It's a witty, memorable reminder that staying safe out there isn't just about getting where you're going, it's about making sure you don't get a premature invitation to your final destination. Drive safe, everyone.